All right, so I still have that fasten mate tool opened. If you don't, you can simply come up to the fasten mate again. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to pick something a little different. We want to make sure that we have our surfaces aligned so that this face that I have indicated here and the end of my sawhorse are on the same plane. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I actually want to line up this bottom edge and this edge right here. Now, you would think I could just click on the edges and have them aligned, but it doesn't work that easily. Okay, you actually end up fighting it quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it up a little bit, and instead, we are going to not pick. Let me see if I can get this to rotate around. We're not going to pick the center of the front face. We're actually going to pick the top, or excuse me, the front, middle, top quadrant point. Okay? So we're on the front face. It's the upper quadrant, and it's going to be the middle. So be careful when you place your cursor, because if your cursor looks oblong or flat, you are not on the surface that we are looking at. Right now, you can see that my indicator, my widget, is perfectly round and it is also in the center. Do I have to get my cursor directly at the center point? No. So long as that widget's showing that it's in the top middle, we're golden. Left click. You've now locked that position in. I'm going to rotate my object around. I'm going to zoom in on the end of my sawhorse top. I could, sure, pick this center point, but I would now have to do offsets to it, and that doesn't make any sense. So what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to pick my bottom, we'll call it the right side of my sawhorse, and it's going to be that midpoint. Okay? So again, make sure that that snap point is in the correct location. Left click it. You're going to see the part appear. However, the orientation is incorrect. I'm going to go ahead and put it in isometric so you can see this a little bit better. Now I'm going to rotate it so that's the right side view so you can see it even better. You will notice that my faces are now lined up. However, the rotation of my object is incorrect. So again, I'm going to throw it in isometric. And I'm going to just use the rotate feature. One click will allow my part to be placed in the correct orientation. One issue that we have, though, is going to be this back side here is supposed to be touching on this leg, correct? So remember I was talking about the orientation planes before, the green, the red, and the blue, how they're going to come into play? Pay attention which direction we want to move this brace. In my case, I want to move it inward on the Z axis, okay? So I'm going to click on this offset button, and you're going to notice I have the ability to move my X, my Y, and my Z, and it's nice enough. It color coordinates everything for you to keep the confusion down. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change this distance. Now, I got to do some thinking here. I know that from this edge, this highlighted face right here, to this face of my sawhorse leg, that's 3 inches. But if I was to do an offset of 3 inches, this brace is going to jam right into that leg. So what we need to do is we need to account for the thickness of the leg. So what that's going to do is that's going to take that 3 inches and bring it down to what? How thick is the leg? Or excuse me, I'm sorry, not the leg, the brace. How thick is the brace? 1 inch. So we're going to take 3 minus the 1. That's going to give us, good. So I'm going to try doing 2 first, and I'm going to hit enter. Oh, man, it moved the wrong way. How do I get it to move the other way? I throw a negative in front of it, exactly. Okay. Go ahead, put a negative in front of it, and go ahead and green check mark. I am going to do it again. Ready? We're going to do it on the other side. So one last time. I'm going to go ahead and use fasten mate. I'm going to look directly at my front view. I am going to choose the upper middle quadrant of my brace or my support. I'm then going to rotate to my left face. I'm going to pick the end of my sawhorse top, and I'm going to use the bottom middle quadrant. Left click again. You will notice my rotation is incorrect. So I'm going to click it a couple times to get that rotation correct. And then I'm going to look to see which direction that brace is sitting. If the brace was not aligned to this face, let's say maybe you accidentally did the flip-flop on it, and then you straightened out the orientation, your brace might be sitting on the outside. So your offset distance wouldn't be 2 inches. It would be what now? 3. Okay? Because we're now taking into effect this entire distance. So you're going to notice my z-axis is again blue. So I'm going to go offset. And I'm going to try doing that negative number again. -2. Green check mark it. Okay. That's it. That is your part. Go ahead, put it in isometric. You would take a screenshot of this, and then this is what you submit to me. This is the only part that I want to see in my submission.